What is going on, Earth 2, novice enthusiasts, and everyone in between? We've got some breaking news regarding the Easter eggs, and nobody's watching yet. This is the problem. When it comes out this fast, you guys will catch it on the replay, hopefully. Okay, so this is coming right from Shane. He just posted this. Dear Earth 2 users, we hope all is well. We're talking Earth. We're talking not only the Easter eggs, but also we're going to be getting into what I think will be NFTs, which a lot of people have been theorizing, and I think we've got confirmation. Dear Earth 2 users, we hope all is well. Our plans were to launch the first Earth 2 Easter egg hunt this weekend in style by way of new Earth 2 video, but we are still heavily focused on delivering CC withdrawals, the credit card withdrawals. I've mentioned this before, and I'll get into it later. And we had had we launched the hunt this weekend, it would have not received our full attention. CC withdrawals are our top priority at present, as once this core feature goes live, we would like to officially dedicate the whole following week to processing as many CC withdrawal requests as possible in order to speed up some backlog for users waiting so patiently. We are working hard to deliver CC payouts live ASAP, hopefully this weekend, and we cannot wait to make that announcement. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and you got those alert notifications on, because when that comes out, I may be doing another announcement depending on what information comes along with it. Another reason for the Easter egg hunt delay is because we want to make sure we give you all enough time to plan enough time. We want to give you all enough time to plan and enough time for us to give you directions on how to claim discovery of eggs once found. We would like to take this opportunity to share some details with you. Pens and paper ready. The hunt will officially start with the release of a new video. We are aiming, and I will be probably streaming this video. I've already decided I'm probably going to stream this video on my channels as well. So another reason to be subscribed and have those alerts on, because we'll be able to have some commentary and some comments back and forth on what we see, discover, find. This will be time sensitive, as he's going to mention. So the hunt will officially start with the release of a new video. We are aiming to release this video on the 3rd of April, which is going to be Easter Sunday. The video will premiere on YouTube, and at the end of the video, there will be final directions about the remaining critical rules of the hunt and how it will work. This makes sure everyone receives the details at the same time at the end of the video. Again, I've said this so many times. They are obsessed with keeping things as fair as possible. They want to give us all a heads up. They want to give us the same opportunities to just level the playing fields. So for new people, for veterans, they want to try to make sure it's, enticing for everybody. If you are new, check out all the new stuff that I have, but I'll get into that later. The noob stuff I have, for instance, or I should say. The event will be very time sensitive. So those who view the video when it plays live for the first time will have a clear advantage, yet patience will be a key requirement for this challenge. We are planning for users to report via social media when Easter egg is located to determine who found which egg. So I'm guessing there's not going to be a way for us to obtain this egg. It'll be based on us reporting oh, here's, a screenshot and a post or something like that. So you'll be able to post on social media. They've yet to determine which platforms, but it'll probably be Discord, Facebook, and possibly Twitter. For legal reasons, the Earth dollars received from finding an Easter egg, some of you guys may or may not know, but these Easter eggs, some of them are up to $3,000 of value, 3,000 E-dollars of value. So they're basically saying it needs to be spent on purchasing land or held for purchase of other virtual items coming to Earth 2 over the next few months. What other virtual items? I don't know. Aside from land, we could be purchasing resources. I think we're going to have 3D, I want to say 3D models to just encapsulate everything, but we'll have 3D vehicles and 3D houses. There's going to be, I think people are going to be building stuff, so you don't have to build your own mansion. You could have, a architect, engineer, build your mansion, who does, computer architecture, and you'd be able to purchase that stuff. Maybe swag for our avatars, things like that. Gucci shoes for your avatar if you wish to do so. So basically, they don't want you to take this money out. Why are they doing it? Well, you mentioned for legal reasons. What does that mean? Well, as soon as you start paying people, then it starts getting really dicey when they're able to take real money out. Is it a lottery? Is it gambling? Is it this? Is it that? All of that stuff is avoided if it's just a credit within that little arena, within that little business, within that little, ecosystem. So I've dealt with this in my business. Like, that's why for my meal prep company, we like to give out credits instead of cash. It just makes it a lot easier. We don't have to report taxes and get into all that jazz. It's just, here's some credits that you can only spend with us, but it saves you from spending money you would have otherwise already been spending with us. Continuing, winners will be given the special ability to display the Easter egg they found on their Earth 2 profile page, not immediately, but in the future. What does that sound like? Sounds like an NFT to me. Winners will also be given ownership of the virtual egg as an NFT. Oh, I should have just read a little bit further. I literally got halfway through and I was like, I got to go live. I'm not even going to finish reading this. So egg on my face. But in any case, I was right. At least he's like, this will not be an NFT. Then that would have been true egg on my face. Pun intended. Winners will also be given the ownership of the virtual egg as an NFT officially from Earth 2, not immediately, but in the future. We will announce further details about the hunt through the week, and a countdown will begin on our website soon. Aiming for our next announcement to be about the CC payouts going live. It is taking a little longer as there are numerous steps involved to enhance user account security. Guys, get those two-factor authentication set up. I know they want you to have that set up so your stuff's secure. And numerous steps involved to enhance user account security and ensure visibility on the person withdrawing the funds. This will become more evident when we go live. Over time, this new system will become more and more streamlined, which is exactly what we are aiming for and what we are already investing more streamlined systems for bank payouts next. There will be more updates soon this week. Okay, so that is exciting. Now, for those of you who are going to be doing Easter with the family, what time do I think this video will be released? Well, based on the fact that it seems like the majority of players, investors, whatever you want to call everyone in this game, in this project, are in the US. I'm assuming that it's going to be sometime during US daytime, or probably in the evening. As we saw with Dubai, it was 5 p.m. US time. They're obviously going to probably give us the time based on Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Time, UTC. But I think it would be something where they want to have as many people engaged and active. The fact that Easter kind of stuff is normally the first half of the day, I'm going to assume maybe it's going to be Easter evening. That way, if people were working, and again, this is all based on US time, so calculate that for whatever your local time is. But I would assume that it's probably going to be, and this is pure speculation, and I always try to tell you guys when I'm just guessing at something, but based on that, so you can see how my mind comes to these conclusions or these hypotheses, I think it's going to be sometime 5 p.m. or later Eastern Standard Time, just because you'll probably have the Easter events and all that stuff kind of winding down. Easter's more of a go to church in the morning, do brunch or whatever with the family. Everybody's dressed up, take their pictures, and then not so much, at least my family, my experience, my family and other friends and their families, seems like it's an earlier thing. So Easter isn't the best time. It is apropos, given that it is an Easter egg hunt. It would have definitely been cooler to do the day before, just so everyone would be able to, not have to barricade themselves in a room with a computer to, enjoy on the hunt. I do think that it seems like the hunt will be something that's going to be ongoing. So if you aren't able, if you're committed to a family event or something like that, you're not out of luck. You will be late to the party. There will be some megs that you miss out on, but maybe you'll also be able to see how and where and what's going on with everyone else. And maybe that'll help you kind of like jump right into it. But in any case, I do plan on, as long as I don't know what's going on. My folks are out of town. They live about 4 hours away. Really, it's like 6 hours when we drive the Tesla there, because we have to charge twice on the way up there, and it's a half hour each charge. So we normally stop to eat. So it's about a 6 hour drive for us, 5 to 6 hour drive for us when we take the Tesla up to see our families. My fiance and I, our families are like half hour from each other. So I don't know if we're going to be going up for Easter. We'll probably be able to get out of that. So the good news is, for me, I'll be able to participate. I hope you guys, if you are spending time with your family, don't be thinking about Earth 2. It's okay. He said this is going to be the first Easter egg hunt, which implies there will probably be other Easter egg hunts. Now, are they going to only be around Easter? Probably not, because as all gamers know, Easter egg term has very little to do with Easter. It's more about just hidden stuff. So I do think they want to do a lot of hunts like this, and they're going to do a bunch of these competitions. It's great for involvement. It's a lot of fun. We're going to get these NFTs, and we're going to get some money, obviously, some Earth $2, which is going to be awesome. Like $3,000. I think the cheapest egg was $500. Now, here's a question, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, because I don't know which way I would go with this. Are there going to be more of the cheaper eggs, like the $500 eggs? Are there going to be more of those around? I'm going to assume imagine if, like, I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures of the eggs. I should have had that graphic ready, but I just went right for it. You guys have probably seen the pictures of the eggs. Are there going to only be one of each? I don't think so. I think there will be multiple, because to only have that was less than like 24 eggs, I think, all over the world. That'd be pretty crazy. So I think there will be multiple eggs of each type and design and everything that we saw. And I would think, and this is just speculating, and I want to know your thoughts, I think there's going to be more of the $500 ones. So more people can find something and feel like they got something. And I think, honestly, those eggs as NFTs, that's what I'm excited about. Tell you what, you find an egg, I'll buy the rights to the egg. I'll buy the NFT from you if you want. I think obviously the $3,000 egg is going to, you keep the money, you keep the $E, I'll buy the egg from you, the NFT. I think the $3,000 eggs are obviously going to, probably be the most, those would be like the Michael Jordan rookie cards or whatever. Sorry, I don't know sports. I don't even know if he had a rookie card. Yeah, everyone has a rookie card. Do they have basketball cards? Yeah, they've got to have basketball cards. They had like hockey cards. So in any case, I do think obviously the value as an NFT will be correlated to the value in $E that they initially had. I think the value is going to continue to grow. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Decentraland, I suggest you go and play around with it. You can get a free account. Don't bother signing up for an account and all that jazz, because honestly, I don't think Decentraland, no offense to Decentraland, but I wouldn't, if you're focused on Earth 2, that's like going from a PS5 to a Nintendo, like a Super Nintendo. You're not going to have a lot of fun going back to that. But to get your brain flowing on the possibilities and what goes on and what can go on in a virtual world like this, and then multiply that times like your wildest dreams, and you'll get something as to what we can expect with Earth 2. But if you go on Decentraland, people build mansions in there. People build mansions for other people, so you can buy somebody else's, mansion that they built, and you can buy it in there, and then you can decorate it with your NFT art. So wouldn't it be cool to have a mansion on your private island off the coast of Dubai in Earth 2? And then in that mansion, you have a display of your NFT Easter egg from the inaugural Easter egg hunt. And I do think that they will have ongoing Easter egg hunts, and that will only further increase the value of the original eggs, because while you could argue that they won't be as rare because there will be multiple renditions of eggs. The fact that we know that it'll be an NFT certified is from the first round, it'll create more of a following. There will be people who are like, oh yeah, I've got the 10th generation, you know, NFT egg from the $500 prize. It's like, oh, well, this guy's got the original Easter egg hunt $3,000 gold egg or whatever the colors of the eggs were. So I think that's where the long-term excitement is going to be on this. And then they can, you know, it might not be Easter eggs next time. It might be anything. They could hide virtual cars around. Imagine them giving away like everything from like a Camaro to a Bugatti, and they got one Bugatti hidden out there. It probably won't do that. I don't want to get into why I don't think they do that, but that's just a silly little example of the fact that it might not always be an NFT, or it might not always be an egg, but it could be some other type of asset or something that we can enjoy on Earth 2, something that you can share off. Let me see, share and show off, combine things like that. Let me see some of the comments. Hey, Billy, what's going on, man? I appreciate their encouragement. You got this. Let's see. What are they? The egg, I'm assuming that they is going to be the Easter eggs. If you don't know, let me see if you can even see a picture on here. They put up a post. I do have a video about it, so check my channel. Just type in like Easter egg, or just type in Easter. I don't have any videos on Easter aside from the ones that are here, but they did display a series of eggs, different designs to the eggs, different values assigned to those eggs, and they did mention that they're going to be doing an Easter egg hunt. So that is the they that we are speaking of. I've got the picture somewhere here. I've got the picture with my thumbnail. Here we go. All right, so I'm looking at it. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20. So we got 20 eggs, just short of 2 dozen. They range in value from 500 to 3,000. There's I don't know how well that comes out on your end, but you probably can't see the numbers at the bottom there. But take my word for it, they go up to 3,000 dollars, and the hunt shall be on. So a week and a day and some hours from now, we are going to be getting into it. Purchase a dam. I do believe they have mentioned, and I don't know if I posted this video yet. No, I've got an oil video where I'm going to go more into this. I've got an oil video that on my secondary channel, the channel that's dedicated to Earth 2. All the videos post there first. So if you're following this on my primary channel, which is Meal Prep Biz 101, thank you. Love the support. Subscribe and alerts, because Earth 2 content will get posted here, but it will always be posted first on Earth 2 News, and there are exclusive things that only get posted on Earth 2 News. Normally when I go live, most of the time when I go live, it will only be on Earth 2 News. Sometimes for big announcements, especially time-sensitive stuff like this, it will be probably simulcasted on both, but there are some interfaces that I go through where I can only pick one channel to go live on. When I use OBS, I'm only able to do it on one channel. I have to look into that, see if I could do it on multiple. But when it's only one channel, it will be on Earth 2 News. So if you want the information fastest, if you want to be involved in the live stuff, your best bet is to be on Earth 2 News. On Earth 2 News, that second channel, I do have a video discussing oil, the confirmation for oil, and I also mention hydroelectric dams and my thoughts on that. Hasn't been confirmed. Oil has been confirmed, and I go into that in the video as to how it was confirmed and what led me to originally think that it was going to be coming out. Easter eggs, doing a hunt, man. I think I just explained it, but just in case, I know you posted this before, I was explaining that stuff. But yeah, 500 to 3,000 dollars, plus the eggs are going to be NFTs. We've got some cool eggs here. I mean, we've got, I don't know what your favorites are. We've got a gold one, we got a silver one, we got a copper one, we got one that's all white up there at the top, kind of boring, but I mean, you got to have your traditional egg. We got some like funky camo eggs in here. We've got, they've got some interesting stuff. I've seen people who have hypothesized that some of these eggs, their design is going to be correlative to where they're going to be found. Some of them do give you somewhat of a hint, like this one up here. this one right here by my finger, that one kind of reminds me of lava. So would that be around a volcano? Kind of limits where it could be. I think they're going to be at notable places, maybe like Machu Picchu, Lake Titicaca, maybe at the top of Mount Everest. But these places are also massive. Eggs are small. How big are these eggs going to be? Are we going to be able to see it from like being zoomed out? Do we have to actually go in and click? They are going to describe, they are going to give us details on how we're going to not only search for the eggs, but also find the eggs and claim them. Are they just going to be sitting around on squares? Are we going to have to buy the square that they're on in order to get it? Like, I don't know. This is going to be weird. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have to buy anything to participate with this. I do think it's going to be a straight up hunt. So for new people, for people who have already blown their money in Dubai, got another video that I just posted today talking about how I blew way more money than I anticipated in Dubai. I think we'll still be able to participate because I do think it will be free. Like I said, I think they want to make it as inclusive as possible. Let's see what else we got here. We've got one egg for 2,500 bucks that has a bunch of leaves. That doesn't really narrow it down because there's kind of leaves just about on 6 of the 7 continents, right? We got another one that looks like it's ice. These two right here, we got a yellow one and a blue one. Where are they? Those, that reminds me of, for you Mortal Kombat fans, reminds me of Sub-Zero and Scorpio. The blue one kind of looks like ice. Maybe that's going to be on Antarctica. Don't know. Yellow one. Where would that yellow one be? I don't know. We've got one up here that it's kind of wavy. So could that be mountaintops? Because they're kind of like zigzag waves going across. Could be mountaintops. But again, there's mountain ranges on just about every continent. Reminds me of Vail, though. And I think I said that in a previous video about the eggs. It reminds me of Vail. I love snowboarding in Vail, and that is a common design that they have with a lot of their branding. Then we've got one right here in the middle. Where is it? Right here. That one looks like a coconut. So is that going to be somewhere tropical? That would be fitting. It'd be weird to find the coconut one in like in the Himalayas, right? Then we got traditional black and white. Doesn't really give us anything there. We've got like this gray camo one that seems pretty cool, 500 bucks. We've got this one that is kind of reminds me of the organic eggs that I get right here. Where is it? Trying to get it so you don't have the glare. This guy right here. But in the context of Earth 2, I'm going to say this bad boy may be found in a desert. I don't know. This one looks like wood. This one looks like some slate. This one looks like it's meant to be transparent or clear. So it's barely there. Then we got copper, silver, platinum kind of material. I'm going to guess it's silver. We got copper, silver, gold. Some interesting eggs. So what do you guys think? You guys look at the eggs. I'm sure if you were to Google Earth 2 egg hunt eggs or something, you'd be able to pull up the Google image and look at what I'm looking at. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are these designs going to correlate with where they're going to be found? Are there any hints? I've seen people speculating that there's hints like built into them. I think one guy used like, I think he used like the peaks and troughs from the zigzag one to come up with a longitude and latitude. But I think he said that it kind of fizzled out because it didn't give him like a real longitude, latitude. That was creative. I love those games. I used to play. I don't know how many of you are old enough and we're playing these types of games, but Myst and Riven, old computer games back in the 90s. Yeah. And it was all like puzzle solving, kind of like an escape room, but like an escape environment. Like Myst was an island and there were different parts of the islands and secret passages, and there's like a observatory. And when you turned off the lights in the observatory, you're able to see constellations on the roof, and a certain constellation led to the next hint. And then there's like a book in another room. So all this kind of stuff. So I dig stuff like that. I dig when people put the extra effort into hiding stuff out in the open, where with the right eye and the right diligence, and he did mention patience, you're able to find stuff out. However, being that these guys have been so busy and being like that that would take a lot of creativity, especially since these, aside from that one, all the other ones look completely different. I think the most we can expect is there to be some kind of correlation between where they are and what they look like. I don't think there's going to be hidden coordinates in these dots and all this craziness. All right, back to some of the comments. I think the NFT will have, yeah, I agree. That's why if anybody finds an egg and they don't care much about holding on to the egg, which after seeing this video, I don't think you're going to feel that way. I think you're going to know it's going to be something you're going to want to hold on to. But if anybody wants to get rid of their egg, let me know, because you keep the money, and I'll happily get that NFT off of you. Highest value of the egg is 3,000 dollars. And as I mentioned before, we're not going to be able to take this money out, but you know, you guys should all be bullish on Earth 2 by this point. This thing's going to be huge. The money, whatever you spend it on in Earth 2, I think will be worth significantly more in the future. It's not even a year old. It's not even 6 months old. This is in its infancy. This is the equivalent of, like, you guys heard those stories about like someone spending like, I don't know, like 100 Bitcoin for a pizza or something like that back in 2010 or whenever that was. Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't go trading your NFT eggs for pizza. Unless it's with me. I would love to. I wouldn't even let you do that. I'd be like, no, you bumped your head. We're not gonna do this deal. Shannon earlier said we don't need to buy tiles for the hunt. Excellent. I don't recall when he said that, but as I said, just from the vibe that I've gotten from everything that they've done, the things that they've said, the decisions they've made, I definitely believe that. Now, here's the thing with buying dams. Who is it? Abdi mentioned buying dams. Now, man-made structures will no longer exist, but will we be able to build dams? And if someone in the real life built a dam in that area, odds are they're smart, kind of engineering kind of people, kind of got an idea of where to build the best dams. If you were to buy that same land and you had interest in building a hydroelectric dam, I think you'd be a smart person. So just putting that out there. I don't think that's a bad idea. While the man-made structures will be wiped out, that river will still be there, that location will still be there, and it will still be, as I said, choice location for that ambition. Yes, I do think I think that's a smart move. I see a couple of you guys are into dams. I did buy some locations, and I go into that a little bit more in my oil video, and that should be coming out. I think the oil video is coming out tomorrow. Yeah, gonna wrap that up, do the editing on that, try to get that out to you guys. The editing takes the most. I like going live because there's like no editing. I throw together a thumbnail, jump on, throw on a t-shirt. I don't even have to take a shower beforehand because you guys can't smell me. I am going to be going back out to work on my car in a little bit, so putting in a new window regulator. So is the Earth just going to be completely blank? No pre-made buildings. So we won't have any man-made structures. So no roads, no buildings. They have gone back and forth. I don't believe there's been any confirmation on this. Let me know in the comments if I missed something, but they have debated whether or not they're going to leave certain landmarks in place. They haven't been really descriptive as to what they are qualifying as a landmark. For instance, Mount Rushmore in the US, where we've got, you know, our president's faces in the side of a mountain. That seems like a landmark that is kind of like tied in with nature. So maybe they would leave that one. Pure speculation. But then someone can also say like Walt Disney World is a landmark. Kinda. I mean, depends on what your description of a landmark is. What else would be it? Statue of Liberty. Is that a landmark? It is. I mean, when you say landmark in the US, that's probably one that would come to mind. But it is so man-made, and people bought up Liberty Island. It'd be really cool to see someone build, I don't know, a dope mansion there, or like roller coaster, anything else. I mean, something Statue of Liberty related would be cool too. But then if they leave certain landmarks there and someone bought that land with the intention of building something else, and now there's already a giant statue of a copper woman there, and now they can't build their mansion there? Are we going to be able to destroy these landmarks? Like if I have, if I have Mount Rushmore, for instance, and we're going to have the ability to terraform, they've mentioned that, and I wanted to make Mount Rushmore a lake, am I going to be able to do that to these landmarks? I think so. I think this is going to be like, they'll probably leave stuff in place and kind of like leave it up to us. I think this is everything. Another thing about this, another vibe that I get is like, this is something they're making and they're like, this is yours. Everyone who wants to have involvement, this is yours. Shane isn't going to be the emperor of Earth or the Earth 2 or the commander of Earth 2. He's the CEO of the project that is creating this, but I think their intention is to build something that goes beyond them. And to do that, it has to be something like, it's just like scaling a business. When I try to scale a business, I can't be doing everything. I can't be in control of everything. The idea is to get it to a point where it kind of runs itself. That way it can go on without me and after me. And I think that's what they're going to do with Earth 2. So to that vein, I think regardless of what they leave and what they don't leave as far as landmarks, I think it's all going to be something that's editable. I think this entire thing it's going to be ours communally, and they're just going to see what we do with it. And it'll be a very interesting experiment on, okay, if we were to take modern people and restart Earth, what would they do? And I've mentioned this in other videos. Where are the hotspots going to be? We've got mega cities that I'm going to do a video on mega cities and probably go through some of them. If there's some mega cities you guys are involved with and you guys want me to check them out, maybe highlight them in my video about mega cities, let me know in the comments. There's only so many that I know of. There may be some other ones that I just haven't come across. I do think that I know the biggest ones, but in any case, for those of you who don't know, mega cities are basically like, there's these groups of people who are coming together and they're like, hey, we're going to buy land here, and then we're going to, all be involved in this initiative to make a kingdom or whatever we want to make in this area. And here's the thing about mega cities. And I mentioned this, and I had a conversation in one of the comments regarding Dubai. When the UAE was released, I bought in 2 megacity locations that I saw being planned and wasn't thinking very clearly, because now megacities thrive on them being affordable. The more affordable it is for the longer period of time, the more people can buy in on that megacity. Also, they benefit from being placed in unpopular areas. If I were to build a megacity in Manhattan, it wouldn't be very successful, because a bunch of other people who have no idea about my intentions to build a megacity and they have their own interests are also going to be wanting to buy up Manhattan. So when I want to plan to have me and all my megacity friends buying up this area, and I've got this stranger and this stranger and this stranger and this stranger buying up, it'll make it hard for me to have, my megacity plan come to fruition, because this guy in the middle might want to make a lake, and that's not where I wanted a lake to be. This guy wants to make a roller coaster, and that's not what I wanted to have there in my megacity. So megacities benefit from areas being built in areas that are going to stay cheap for a long period of time, places that are more rural, out in the middle of nowhere. And when we see Earth 2 come to fruition, yeah, we will see a lot of people buy up Manhattan, but what are they going to do with Manhattan? If we have a bunch of individuals just mobbing to these capitals that exist on Earth 2, we have a bunch of people buying 1 square here because that's all they can afford and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like civil engineering or civil planning. When you're able to control the design of a big area, you're able to get some really cool stuff happening. Like, look at Chicago. I've been to Chicago. I used to want to be an architect. Chicago is awesome because it was already a place of interest. It got burnt down, and it was already a place of interest. So all this money and skill and talent came right back to Chicago to build it up. So it's like an architectural mecca, because Frank Lloyd Wright and all these other famous architects definitely wanted to build there, because it's not like you're building in the middle of like Oklahoma and you're like, hey, no, trust me, let's build some really cool stuff here. People are going to come if we build some cool stuff. People are already going to Chicago. But with us, that's because they were able to kind of control bigger projects, and they already had that kind of mindset there. If we just have a bunch of random people going to Manhattan, like you look at the Statue of Liberty, you got a bunch of different people buying up something like that. Is that entire island going to be one cool idea? No. Some guy's going to have a cabin in the middle of it, and it's going to mess up the whatever else was going on, just as an example. So in any case, getting back to my point, I bought in on these two mega cities that were in the UAE, a little bit north of Dubai. And then I realized, like, this isn't probably going to be a great project. I don't know. I may be wrong. But number one, they're in an area that is relatively high populated. Like, there's roads there, there's buildings there. It's not like downtown Dubai, but there's already a bunch of people there. There's going to be a bunch of strangers that have no idea of the mega city project going on, buying up that area. Then we got to buy them out or build around their stuff. Makes it weird. And also the price is going to go crazy. Like, the prices are already several dollars a square. I haven't checked it recently, but I don't think a lot of new people are going to be wanting to get in on that mega city if they see a mega city that's like out in the middle of the jungle, and it's already got a massive amount of people, and there's nobody else around except for the people who are looking to buy into that mega city and be a part of it, and the value is still under $1, right? See where I'm going with that? So again, let me know what mega cities you guys are interested in. I'm still like not sure. I'm kind of like buying into mega cities, just a few of them so far out of curiosity. Like, I bought into one that I forget the names of them. That's the other thing. I don't have a way to follow up with them. I'm going to have to Google them when stuff comes to fruition. I feel like I got time. There's nothing I'm going to have very passive involvement with this stuff. I'm not going to be, some of them are planning like military stuff, and you're going to be the, taking care of security, and you're going to be taking care of infrastructure and building whatever. Like, I have no involvement. I'm running stuff in the real world. I'm just going to buy, passively invest in stuff. One of them's like claims to be the highest mega city in the world. It's somewhere in the Himalayas. I bought some squares there. I'll see where this stuff comes to fruition. Historical places. I would say that if the landmarks are kept, I would assume they're going to be stuff of historical significance. Disney World is cool, but it's massive, and it's not, it could be argued to be historical significance, but it's not as historical as Mount Rushmore, the Alamo, things like that. It's just a place where you have a lot of fun, make a lot of money off of people with kids. So will tiles big cities still be useful if buildings are gone? Yes, because people are going to be interested in building in those areas. Here's the way it works, or here's the way I think it works. And again, this is speculation. A lot of people live in Manhattan. Enough of those people become interested in Earth 2. Typically, people buy up where they live, what's familiar to them first. So a lot of people living in an area means there's going to be a lot of people buying in that area, and maybe they're going to be recreating their area. Maybe they're going to be wanting to buy that big mansion down the street that they've always looked at since they were a kid. Now they own it, and they're going to build that up. So I think that buying in big cities is always going to have an advantage. Another reason is there's going to be an advertising component, and that's another way for you to make money. When you are able to have someone plug in through augmented reality when they're there geographically, and they plug in and they're just bored, or either through their app, like they're saying the app that's going to come out, it's going to be like AR based. So you're sitting in an airport, or you're sitting in, a cafe in downtown Manhattan. You're like, oh, I wonder what's here in Earth 2. Boom. Oh, wow, someone built a roller coaster here. Wow, this is cool. Boom, ad. So someone selling ad, or someone buying ads and wanting to advertise in places, they're going to be advertising in places that are attractions in Earth 2 and attractions in Earth 1 because of the foot traffic there. Yeah, build a statue of something else. That, could be anything. I think it'll be creative. I think there's going to be some people with some interesting, I've seen some of the tile art, and I definitely appreciate it. I'm surprised I haven't seen more people like drawing dicks and stuff like that, but I won't be surprised when there is some kind of, like, you go to like the Alamo or something and there's like a dick statue or something. I hope YouTube doesn't censor me for saying that. Expo City is the best design one I've seen so far. Also, only one I've bought more than a single tile. And I've heard of Expo City. can't say whether or not I've bought into Expo City. I will have to check that out. I'll put Expo City on my list, and I'll do a review. Check out, see who's been buying there, how big it is. There's definitely an advantage to being involved with the bigger projects, especially when they have a lot of people and resources who do have the time to just sit around and hypothesize how they're going to be building stuff out and playing stuff. That's cool because, like I said, I'm going to be super passive. So if I'm buying in on a group where everyone else is putting in a lot of effort, but it's going to increase the value of my space, cool. It'll be like buying a field in Manhattan. Imagine time traveling back to like 1900, knowing how big Manhattan's going to be, and you buy up a plot of land there and you just don't develop it. You turn it into a parking garage after several decades and you just sit on it. If you had that parking garage right now in modern day in Manhattan and you wanted to sell it, make some money. That's me. Lazy. It's the first solid global platform for virtual reality, as HTML was for the internet, Google for search, Facebook for social media. Yeah, I think Earth 2 is going to be massive. I think it's going to be, I've mentioned before, I think it's going to be not just from a game standpoint, not just making money. Yes, all of that stuff. But I think it's going to have an impact on society. I think it's going to have an impact on human beings. There will be something eventually where we are going to be uploaded into this virtual world. It's inevitable. Will this be it? I don't know. Will Elon Musk be the first guy to Mars? I don't know. Looks like it. Very cool. What country is that? I'm not familiar. From what I understand, yes, it's going to be basically it's going to be like the domain of your, kind of like having a website domain for your website. You could have, some random domain or something that's really hard, or you could get something that's super easy, like autotrader.com. If you have autotrader.com and you want to sell cars, that's a pretty easy one for people to remember, easy for them to go back to. So if you're in a good area in, let's say, Paris, if I've got some spot in Paris and I get the domain, the EPL for Paris, a lot of people are probably going to be going there. And then let's go back to what I was talking about for advertising dollars. When I'm looking to buy some ads and I want to buy ads at certain areas, I'm going to be looking at the teleporters that are going to be the most popular, the EPLs that are going to be the most popular. That's probably where I'm going to be going. So it goes hand in hand. I don't think, like, people have been, like, someone called me an idiot in the comments because they're like, you're an idiot if you don't think EPLs are important. I didn't say that. I said that I don't think that the EPLs are going to be there. I don't think they're going to cause as much of a rush as releasing the UAE. That's what I said. EPLs are going to be important. But as far as like the rush and crashing servers and everything like we experienced last Saturday, it's not going to be like that because most people don't even know what EPLs are. I won't even say most, but not 100% of people know what EPLs are. So inherently, since everybody knows what land is and the purchasing of land is way more demanding on the servers, that's going to cause a lot more server issues than people registering EPLs. You don't have to zoom in and zoom out and select tiles and calculate pricing and all this other jazz when purchasing EPL. It's like going on GoDaddy and saying, I want this. It's available, purchase. It's not available. All right, let me change a letter. Let me change a number. Let me add another word to it. It's not going to be a mad rush. It's not going to crash servers. So I think, and I would love to be proven wrong, but it's common sense. It's not going to be that crazy. I've only like 50 tiles and not really thinking of getting any more in large quantities. Should I just hold and hope the tiles increase in value over time? If you hold them, they will increase. The other option, I mean, not financial advice or anything like that, but this is so new, it's only going up. I mean, there's so much interest in this that if you start selling stuff, like someone was saying that in the comments, they thought that for another video, they thought that the US was going to start crashing. The price of the US is going to start crashing. I don't think so, because let's say it managed to like go down. There's so many people who have already seen it go to $53. Let's say it went to 48. There's a ton of people looking to buy it Now at 48, it becomes a deal. And we also don't have the trading platform like we do like cryptocurrency or foreign exchange or stocks, where you can see a crash happen, because the buying and selling doesn't happen in real time like that. It's not that fast. You post something, someone buys it, or you post something and it might be up there for a week and nobody's buying it because there's not as much volume there yet. And we don't have that trading platform, that exchange that lets things go up and down and makes it more vulnerable to susceptibility, or to more susceptible to volatility. I should have said vulnerable to volatility. A little bit of alliteration. But yeah, to answer your question, it's up to you. You could try flipping it and then taking that profit and buying more land in a cheaper area and having that appreciate. But also it depends on where that area is and how much demand there is for it. If you've got land in, let's rewind. If we went back and you're going to spend $5 in Manhattan or 50 cents in Peru, back then, Manhattan was the better buy because Manhattan ended up, the US ended up growing a lot faster. Today, if you had $100 to spend, and let's say that it was $50 a tile in the US, I don't think it's going to climb as much. Like Bitcoin, for instance, great example. I would think, and again, not financial advice, I would think Bitcoin is probably one of the worst investments, hear me out, from a cryptocurrency perspective, just because every single altcoin has the potential, has a more likely potential to increase higher and to multiply. Not to say that they're going to go to 60,000, but if I buy something that is a half of a penny, it's not very difficult for it to go to a penny. And then from my perspective, I've doubled my money. For me to double my money investing in Bitcoin or investing in the US, it has to double. That means Bitcoin has to go to $120,000. That means its market cap has to double. I don't know how many trillions of dollars its market cap has to double to, but I know it's already in the trillions, I believe. And then if I were to look at another country like, I don't know, Uganda or something like that, that's under $1, for that to go to $2, it's not going to be that's not going to be crazy. Not just because the market cap adjustment wouldn't be as severe, but also because there's going to be more people with less money who are looking at it like, again, going back to Bitcoin. If I've got $500, I could buy like 0.0000 something percent of Bitcoin. If I have $500 and I want to go buy like RED, REDD or RDD, I think is the call sign. It's like, I think is RED. I forget. I look at it on Bitcoin. In any case, RED is like half of a penny or something like that, or maybe it's like 9 cents or something. So if I have $500, I feel like I'm getting a lot more when I buy RED coin as opposed to Bitcoin. So more people most people don't have a lot of money, so they're going to invest in the cheaper places. So that's why you'll see it's easier. While the price won't go up to $60,000, it doesn't have to. It goes to 2 pennies and you've quadrupled your money or something like that. That seems like a much more likely scenario to happen. So I'm not buying in the US anymore. I stopped buying in the US I think at like $8 or something, just because it was easier to make more money in other places it's just easier to outperform it. But again, it depends on where you are, what your game is. Are you looking to flip stuff? How much time do you have? Check out Oz, City of Islands. That sounds cool. I dig islands. All right, so we got Oz, and I like the name Oz. That's cool. City of Islands. Now, if you guys saw my earlier videos, I'm a big conspiracy theorist, dude. Not big, but I'm fascinated by conspiracy theories and ancient information that was hidden from us and whatever else. There's a theory that the lost city of Atlantis didn't actually sink into the ocean, that the tectonic plates rose, and that the lost city of Atlantis is actually in the middle of the Sahara Desert. If you were to look up the Eye of the Sahara on Google Maps, it resembles the descriptions from, I think, Plato on what the city of Atlantis looks like. Yours truly was one of the first people to buy up that area because I'm crazy like that. I was buying up Earth chakra points like Lake Titicaca and Mount Shasta. And then I also bought up a bunch of land in the eye of the Sahara, like right in the central island of what is proposed to be Atlantis. Now they're doing a mega city there. So I was there before the mega city. So that's great because I'm like right in the epicenter of it. And if they're going to recreate Atlantis, like I've got prime real estate right in the middle of Atlantis. It's like buying Wall Street before it was Wall Street. Now everyone's like, hey, let's make this the financial district of the world. So that's going to be pretty cool. So check out that. I think that one's called the Eye of the Sahara. I'll mention that when I do the mega city things too. I'm not pumping or promoting any particular mega city, not yet. Maybe once I learn more about what each one is doing, but I will let you guys know where they are, what I think about them, you know, what kind of progress they're making, and if I could find some information on their Discords or any of their chats, I'll let you know what their overall plan is. Like, I don't know if some of them I think are going to be gearing up for like wars and what rivalries. There will be a player versus player component to this, so it will be cool. Is it true the larger land tiles will get preference for shorter EPL? That I haven't heard, but I wouldn't say that's false, because I have heard things that would somewhat correlate to that. For instance, Shane, when they were asked the quantity of tiles that you're purchasing, obviously all the tiles are 10 meters by 10 meters, so they're the same, but I know what you mean. The bulk amount of tiles that you purchase. If I purchase one tile, it's its own property. If I purchase 750 tiles, it's its own property. Would that get a preferential treatment? I would think yes. I haven't heard anything to confirm that, but common sense, it's a way to establish more legitimacy. But here's the thing. What is going to prevent me from registering ABC as my EPL or Paris as my EPL? A nice little short 5-letter, easy to remember, 5-letter, easy to remember EPL. For instance, I don't even know how this is going to work, but I'm assuming it's going to be something like domains. How are you going to stop me from doing that if I'm the first one to do it? That's why I would think that might not work. Are they going to make it so that, like, if you don't have X amount of tiles on that property, you can't register for an EPL shorter than this? That's one way they can do it. But if I'm the first one to register, regardless of, if I was the first one to register eBay, even though I didn't have eBay, I would get it. They wouldn't go to the legitimacy of the project. So it's interesting. That they may do that. They may do it so that if you don't have a certain amount of tiles in that property, you can't register an EPL shorter than this. I could see the reason for that. They want to make sure that the good EPLs, the high value EPLs, the ones that are easy to remember, go to the people who have invested and are more likely. Like if I have 750 tiles in an area, there's a lot more likelihood that I'm going to be doing something significant there, something that will legitimately get people to that site. If I bought autotrader.com and it just went to a blog and I updated the blog once a month, that's not really a legit site. Google and the internet beings wouldn't be the best place to be directing traffic, because there'd be a bunch of disappointed people hitting there. If I bought the Paris domain and it's really, some woods in the middle of Alabama, and it's one square, people are going to get pissed off, right? So I do see there being some kind of governance or reason for some kind of governance there. Those might not be the best examples, but that's stuff off the top of my head. Sorry, don't prep for this. When buying cheap land, also remember to buy in countries that have enough land mass to get to. Yes, this is something that I've kept in mind. When I see these smaller countries and these smaller islands, I have bought some stuff I can't name off the top of my head, but I've basically disregarded them. And I think one of the reasons is not only would more sales increase the potential price, so like places with massive amounts of land like Russia that will continue, like I think Russia has massive potential, because there's two arguments. There's one where it's like, oh, it's got so much land mass, there's so much of it that there's no value. But then also as people continue to buy into it, the price goes up. And even if the price doesn't go up that much, if you have a high class tile there, that makes it inherently more rare. if I had a country that, just using easy numbers, if there's a country that only had 100 tiles in it, and I had one of the 10 that were a high class, I've got one of 10. Whereas if it's got 1,000 tiles and there are only 10 that were high class, and again, this is just not correlative to the real math, it would make those even more rare, because while there are a lot of people with land in that area, those people, obviously it's reflective of their interest in that area, but my land would be more valuable than the land they're able to get because of the scarcity of the, the limitation on when that land was available. The first 100,000 tiles sold in an area are class 1. After that, no more class 1. So if you got class 1 on an island that only goes up to, like, it's a small country and it only goes up to like 350,000 squares, there's like 50,000 people, or actually class 3 is extended beyond that, I understand. So the analogy is getting kind of frayed there, but I agree with that. I agree with buying land in a country that's too small may decrease the ability for that tile value to go up. But then the counter argument, because I've got these different voices in my brain, the counter argument would be, yeah, but if I really want to own something in the Bahamas, the secondary market value is going to be higher on that, because I can't buy new land in the Bahamas once it's bought up. And the ability for it to be bought up is increasingly easier as the available landmass gets smaller. So it can go either way. As I mentioned, I did buy some land in some islands that don't have a great deal of land mass. I haven't been doing that recently because I've been trying to focus more on resources, which not a whole heck of a lot of islands have serious resources. They've got coconuts and stuff, but I did find some islands. I think it was like Oceania kind of area somewhere near Australia that had, was it copper or nickel? I think it was nickel in some islands. And I think I bought some nickel mine territory there. But by a little while ago, I got heavily focused on resources. So coming up on an hour, I meant this to be like 10 minutes. So sorry. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to go get greasy, putting a new window regulator in my vehicle. And then I've got some other stuff to do. Probably going to get some editing going, get some videos coming out. Check out my video on oil for those of you who are looking at where to buy, what to buy, why to buy. The oil announcement is going to be pretty important. And I also talk a little bit about clean energy in there, specifically the hydroelectric dams, which someone was talking about earlier. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys found this informative. Again, I will be going live with the Easter egg hunt, unless my mom twists my arm and forces me to drive up to Ocala. And then I'll just probably sneak off into a spare room and try to find me some Easter eggs. I do think it will be a long process. I do think these Easter eggs will be found over a period of probably several days at least, because probably going to be very well hidden. But it also comes down to how easy they are to find. So I guess we'll see, but I don't think we'll miss out. If you're spending time with your family on Sunday, great. Enjoy your family. That's what really matters. But if you're able to get in on Earth 2, catch me. I'll be going live. And as long as it doesn't, crash my feed, I don't think it will be as big as the Dubai thing, but who knows? Because this is free money. Dubai or UAE going live, you had to spend money. So maybe more people are going to be interested because it'll be a chance to win money. I don't know. We will see. Definitely won't be as many transactions, though. These arguments go back and forth. The voices in my head. Have a great one, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Subscribe. Hit the contact form in the show notes. Turn on the alerts. Comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, any interactions. Let me know what's going on. And have an amazing weekend.